Welcome to PLZ Soccer Live. I'm Peter Martin. On my right hand side, Barry Ferguson. On my left, Alan Ruff. Delighted you could join us on the show today. Lots to talk about. Of course, looking ahead to the Scottish Cup final on Saturday at Hampden, the FA Cup final as well, let's not forget. There's been a fair bit of news about today, one of them concerning your old mucker, and I'm talking, of course, about Alan McGregor. He signed a 2-year deal at Rangers.
Yep, I think it's a great signing, Peter. People all go on about his age, but as Ruff will tell you, goalkeepers can go on that wee bit longer. I've watched him a number of times this season for his ex-club Hull City, and he's been excellent form, and also with Scotland over in Hungary. So for me, a great signing, and also the sort of character that Rangers need back at the club.
And slowly but surely you can start to see that experience coming in, people that know how to play at the top level.
Yep, certainly the last two signings I've been impressed with. Arfield, who, as you know, has been down in England for the last 8 years. At Huddersfield, then went to Burnley, played in the Premier League. He was one of Sean Dyche's first picks as well. So a lot of experience, along with Alan McGregor. I think it's two very good signings that it's shown you that Steven Gerrard's obviously going for a certain type of player.
Yeah, I don't think there'll be too many. It's just my personal opinion, Ruffy. I do not think there'll be too many players that were playing this season in that starting 11 with Steven Gerrard at the start of the season.
No, obviously, I think behind the scenes, Steven Gerrard, although he's not there, you know, we'll be having obviously talks with the owners of who he wants to keep there. He's obviously saw 2 or 3 of the games, so he'll know right away the players that he needs to bring in. I would think centre halves obviously are a big shout. You know, I think Rangers have been very vulnerable, and I think it was evident at the Hibs game. You know, 3 balls into the box, 3-0 down. They need a dominating centre half in there. I would like to see maybe a midfield player a wee bit like Barry. You know, somebody who controls the game, because I think the midfield players they've got now don't really do that. You know, they don't complement each other. They don't, you know, take control of the game. They're all doing their own wee bit. And obviously, for the Rangers supporter, you've got to be sitting there in the close season anticipating what kind of players are coming in.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, as ever, we always like to feature some of your videos. It comes from the PLZ Soccer app. Fairly straightforward. Go to Google Play or in the App Store, download the app, and you'll get all the latest news north and south of the border, European football, and of course right across the world. If it's breaking, it's on the app, on your fingertips. You can look around it. There's unique video content as well, and there's going to be more and more special competitions coming your way on it. It also has a straight link through to finding a great deal on new and used cars with Arnold Clark, so well worth getting. And the reason I mention that is because we try and feature videos. If you've got an opinion, if you download the app, there's a video reporter section. Hit the video reporter, record your message on video, and if we use it, then we'll send you out maybe a special gift. We've got prints that we're sending out, and one of them, Ruffy, is this one of our Hall of Fame inductee in our studios of Henrik Larsson. So we're sending that out to Craig Brown. It was a guy who posed a question on yesterday's soccer show. So that print is on its way to Craig, and hopefully he'll get that framed and get it up on his wall. Also, today we're going to hear from Jay Mersey. Now, I think he might be a Rangers fan, he might not, but you know, David Cooper's in our Hall of Fame, and well worthy of our Hall of Fame, may I add, Barry.
Oh, late, great David Cooper. I remember as a young boy watching him when I used to go with my dad to watch my brother. What a player.
Yeah, fantastic. Great player. And of course, well, the reason why we're highlighting that, if Jay Mersey is indeed a Rangers fan, I think he may be, might not be, but we'll find out, and we'll be sending him out a prize. If your video is used on our show, then we'll send something out to you. Depending on the team or your favourite player, we'll show you some of the stuff we'll be sending out. T-shirts are plenty coming too over the summer, especially with the World Cup in mind. So here's Jay Mersey's point.
Just to see how many players do you think that Steven Gerrard's going to make a change in that starting 11 that started against Celtic and obviously Hibs as well? I've seen you are saying maybe keep 4 players, but he's only mentioning what 4 players you think that is. And given he's funded, where do you think he's going to come in the league? Obviously, with Brendan Rodgers still being there, where do you think, when do you think Brendan Rodgers is going to leave? Obviously, he must be tempted by all these big names, all these clubs. Maybe David Moyes is maybe leaving West Ham, Everton, Sam Allardyce, and obviously he's been linked numerous times. When do you think he's just going to give up?
Well, one of the things I would offer you a piece of advice, if you are going to send us a video, don't go on the waltzers while you're recording it, Ruffy, because Jay Mersey looked as if he was going round in some pace here. I don't know if somebody was trying to shove him while he was recording it.
Yeah, I was just hoping we wouldn't have to answer in the same sort of a way that he was asking the questions.
Yeah, that was Ruffy and Sunday. Hey, what about you, pot and kettle? You were birling, by the way. Somebody phoned me today and said you got a taxi home with him. You had a right good night though, didn't you?
Yeah, it was actually Jerry McCabe.
Yeah, that's exactly.
You can't talk about anybody.
Didn't know it was Jerry McCabe till the next day.
Exactly. No, it was a right good night at the Scottish Football Writers. But what do you make of Jay Mersey's point there, which is just basically, you know, first of all, we talked about maybe only keeping 4 players of the Rangers side that was, you know, finished this season. And that's because I don't think they're good enough. I mean, I'm looking at the team. I mean, even if I go back to the last game, which was against Hibs, it's a simple one to look at that starting 11, Barry. And I look at that starting 11 and I'm saying to myself, right, Jack Annick is not going to be the number 1. Tavernier, possibly sellable. Bates away. Russell Martin, not good enough. Andy Halliday won't make it for me. Jordan Rossiter, I'm sorry. Candeas won't. Holt might be a squad player. Goss going back. Cummings hasn't done it for you either. And then we get to Jamie Murphy. So I'm looking there and I'm just saying to you right now, you know, of the players that are there, I was thinking maybe Tavernier, Declan John because he's the left back.
Yep.
And then
McCrory.
after that, McCrory.
And then I would give Greg Docherty because he just signed in
Greg
January.
Docherty was one of the ones that he's just signed. So that was the 4 that we come up with. The rest of it, all change.
I think, yeah, definitely. I think it obviously depends on the funds available to the new manager. But you see, he's made 2 signings, and I think if you do look at that squad, there's not a lot that are going to get kept. If there are going to get kept in that starting 11 against Hibs, as you said, Holt, I think they're squad players.
Yeah.
So I think there's a massive rebuilding job going to be done. And I think Steven Gerrard knows that, obviously, since he's obviously signed the contract, and he would have watched the last few games. But for me, the biggest thing is defensively. I think you've got to build right through the spine.
Yeah.
He's obviously started with Alan McGregor, who I think for him has been a good goalkeeper. But if you're going to put Alan and Forum together, for me, Alan all day long.
Yeah.
2 centre backs, we 100% need that. I think we need strength in midfield, strong characters, and I think we need a main centre forward.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, you know, let's be honest about it. You're talking about a main centre forward. I think they need 2 centre forwards.
Yeah, you always need that. I think you need one that's going to be starting, one that's going to be your main striker.
Yeah.
And then you always have a couple of guys that can come in and do a very good job. Like you look at Celtic, they've got Dembele. If he's not fit, you've got Edward that will come in, and you've got Lee Griffiths.
Yeah. Listen, before I get to you on this point, you're always on the Facebook thinking you're getting absolute pelters all the time, right? I know what you're like. You think, oh, we're getting.
Listen,
well,
it's part and parcel, Peter.
But I'm going to read out something good.
All right,
you know,
right.
there's some good stuff because Greg Stott, I think, might be in Belfast. It says, great stuff, guys. I tune in every day on YouTube. Keep up the great work. Barry Ferguson, one of my favourite ever players, came across him for the first time in a pre-season friendly versus Crusaders in Belfast in summer 1997. He might not be from Belfast, but anyway, you know, that's a nice compliment for you.
Yeah,
one of your favourite ever players.
Do you know what? I might start going on Facebook.
Yeah. Don't.
No,
Greg's one in a million.
Well, let's not get carried away. That was 97.
Yeah.
He's a different player, a different person now.
He's
so many years.
Totally different person now than he was then. And also, I would just like to say to you, hi to Kenny O'Hara, Niall Kane. What's your thoughts on the whole town of Motherwell being decorated with all the bunting and banners? I was up there today at Motherwell's ticket office to buy my brother and nephew tickets for Motherwell because they're Motherwell fans.
Yep, absolutely fantastic. I actually met a Motherwell supporter today, Graham McMahon, who there's 50 of them leaving on a bus from Law They're not doing the corporate hospitality bit, they're doing it themselves, which could obviously be a risky day, you know, if you're just stopping at every pub on the way down the road to the park. But they'll certainly enjoy themselves. And I never asked you this, I haven't heard, maybe you've heard, has there been any tickets handed back?
Well, can I tell you something? When I went into the ticket office today, obviously I've paid for Diesel's ticket, my nephew. I said that my brother and my nephew are Motherwell fans. We don't talk to them. There's no point. You can't talk to a Motherwell fan. You know, we're just black sheep of the family, to be honest with you, Barry. I'm only kidding you. But when I went into the ticket office to get the tickets for them for the cup final, the lady says there's only a few that they were getting. That was about maybe 12 o'clock. There's only a few that were being handed to them by Hampden that they could sell on then. It was first come, first served today. I think full marks to Motherwell. They've taken their allocation, boom, everybody's been in there early to get their tickets, making sure they can say, I was there if they win.
Yeah, I think it was great what Motherwell done. They're obviously not going to sell the 20,000 that they're going to get, or just over that. They've been clever, that they're going to get 12,500. I think there was 6,500 at the semi-final.
Yeah.
They're going to sell out the 12,500, great, that's their limit. And it's a breath of fresh air for me.
Yeah.
You know, the guy at Motherwell, as I say, is the chief exec. I've always been impressed with him and the things and the comments that come out of his mouth. And for them to go and do that shows me that they're a forward-thinking club.
Yeah, absolutely. 12,500 is, Motherwell will be empty. Make sure you put your house alarm on. It's just a thought. Anyway, on that note, Greg Stott says, no, I'm in Canada and I'm from Dundee. The guy who likes you thought you were a great player. You know, basically Greg's been, deported from Scotland clearly because you're his favourite player and shunted out there.
He's not even Big Ruffy out either.
No, and not to leave Ruffy out, he says, my first memory of him was when he played an amazing match in goal for Hibs against Rangers in 86-87 and just lost out to a Dave McPherson header. Do you remember that, Ruffy?
I do remember it. It was actually one each. David McPherson scored about 8 minutes to go to make it one each. Yep.
Well, there you are. Greg, what a memory you've got there for that. And Niall says, I know Big Graham that you mentioned, the Motherwell fan. Tell him I said hi. I'm from Law Village myself. So see, you get the reaction, you get that immediate stuff. Anyway, these two brilliant prints will be sending them out to people. If you want to record a video message, Greg, if you want to record one, we'd even send something to Canada for you. We'll see if we can come up with a Barry Ferguson t-shirt as quick as we can. So we now know the situation with regards to, we've answered the questions on Rangers, and I'm now going to get your thoughts on the cup final. Motherwell, how do they approach this? Do they go with the physical? Do they try and miss out the midfield? Do they do what they did to Rangers? Do they try and replicate what Hearts did to Celtic earlier in the season?
Yeah, I don't think they need to be physical. I think they just need to be closer to the certain Celtic players that make Celtic tick. We already saw what happens in the Rangers game. If you don't get near them, they dictate the game. Sham, Brown, you know, and then the runners all come into the game after that. So I think they need to be close and personal. I don't mean tackling late or anything like that. I just mean up close, giving them no time whatsoever. But I don't have to tell them that. They'll know by looking at the Hibs game, the Celtic Hibs game, the Celtic Hearts game, and that's how they got a reward in that game, because they got in about them. They didn't let the players, good players, lift their head and see what it was about. They just got in about them right away. But again, you know, it's okay saying that, you know, but Celtic are very, very good players who can move the ball very quickly. So, no, I really hope it's a really close game. I don't think anybody wants to see a one-sided game, a competitive game with lots of goals.
Yeah, absolutely. Barry, from a Celtic perspective, back-to-back trebles, do they just do what they do and then hope the quality will shine through?
Yeah, I think they've got certainly they've got enough quality, Peter. It's the last couple of weeks they've not been. Well, I'd probably say the full season they've not been at their best, and they've still won the League Cup and won the league. But I tell you what, I don't think Motherwell need to change much. They've got a way they play. They've got a game plan. The only thing I would say is they need to get close to the Celtic midfield. For me, that's the strongest part of the team. Brown and Cham, Rogic, McGregor. You give these sort of players any sort of space, what Rangers done in the semi-final, there's only going to be one outcome. So I would bet my bottom dollar that Motherwell have been working on that all week to make sure that the Celtic midfield don't get any space to go and dictate the game.
Yeah, is Scott Brown the key to all of this, stopping him? Because at times I noticed him against Rangers in the semi-final, he's just flicking the ball. There's nobody within 10 yards of him. I'll tell you what I do like about him in the press conference. Now, you know, it's a bit of needle between him and Graham Shinnie. Shinnie's had a bad tackle on him. Scott Brown's having none of it. He's absolutely leathered him in the press today in the back pages, saying, you know, it was a tackle from a wee boy and it'll take better than that to put him out of the game. Look at him laughing to put him out of the game.
Yeah, right. I mean, for me, Scott Brown's not a match winner. You know, he's just the player who makes the other match winners tick.
Yeah.
He comes back, he takes the ball off the centre half, he builds up to the halfway line, he brings other people into the game. And the reason why the Shinnies and everybody are having a go at him, because they obviously know that he's the kind of guy, if you get in a bit and tackle him and rile him a wee bit, it just takes the focus off what he's doing.
Yeah.
It just means that, you know, he's watching somebody coming in with a tackle, you know, and I don't think they're trying to like injure him or anything. I think they're just trying to make him know that he's not going to be strolling about the midfield and controlling the game. They're going to be near tackling whenever opportunity comes along, and I think sometimes that can just disrupt you a wee bit if somebody's actually putting you off your game.
Yep.
I think what you're going to see in Saturday is Motherwell leaving the boot in early doors. Let Sly, get close to him. If a Celtic player gets away, just listen, I'm here. Just let you know. But I think that's the way that Motherwell have got to do it. Because as I says, if you're going to give Celtic any sort of space, there's only going to be one outcome, Peter. They're going to destroy you. So that'll be one of Motherwell's biggest game plans. Is just unsettle them, make it uncomfy. The pitch is going to be like a bowling green. And the last thing is you want to let good players play. And I'm sure Motherwell, that'll be the biggest thing that the manager's putting into them all week in training is don't give them any space.
Yeah. Okay. The England, a couple of things to finish with, guys. The England World Cup squad has been announced by Gareth Southgate. No Joe Hart in it and no Jack Wilshere. So he's gone with quite a lot of youth in there, a lot of players that he thinks can do the business. That's Butland and Pickford and Nick Pope from Burnley, who are the goalkeepers, and they've got a bit of quality as well, to be perfectly honest with you. Dele Alli and Harry Kane. Have they got enough quality to win the World Cup, Ruffy?
Not for me, no. I think it's typical England quarterfinals at best. I do think they've got good players in there, but I think when you look at that team, you're looking at Harry Kane. You're looking at Harry Kane to come up with the goal scoring feats that he's doing in the league. I don't think at this level yet we've seen the best of Harry Kane. I think once the World Cup's over, we will know whether this guy is going to be the kind of guy who's going to move on to Barcelona or Real Madrid. This is a big tournament for him.
If you look at the England squad, for me, they've got very, very good individual players, but as a team collectively, I don't think they play. Yeah. I honestly don't. Every time I watch them, there's just something missing. Now, if you look at the squad, I mean, they play with top clubs and they're playing in the best league for me in the world, but as a team collectively, they just don't seem to gel.
It's not happening.
No chance. No winning that.
Okay. Okay. Here's. I mean, there's a lot of. See, since you said leave the boot in, you've annoyed people, honestly. But that's what happens in life. That's what happens. You try.
I don't mean it in a bad way. I mean, no. Listen, if you're playing against better players, the last thing that you want to do is let a better player have time and space. And you know, like what Celtic done to Rangers in the semi-final. They had pipes, slippers, house coats, everything on. Rangers didn't get near them. For Motherwell to have a chance, they need to get right down Celtic's throats and make it uncomfy.
Right.
That's what I mean.
Right. Okay. So we've clarified that. Now remember, by the way, if you are posting messages, we don't mind criticism, but try not to be abusive because it is a football show, and we like to talk about football really on the web, on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter. We try and concentrate on the positives. I don't mind negative comments as long as you're not abusive. We'll be absolutely delighted with you because that's possibly why we've worked so hard to build our careers up, not to deal with nasty people. We need them to troll other sites, Ruffy, is that fair?
Yeah, you're right, you know, and if I get any nasty stuff, I'll just start crying. So just be careful.
Here's a point that Gary Hawthorne, I think that's the right one before we talk about David Moyes and Sam Allardyce, he said, if your house alarm goes off and there's nobody in there to hear it, does it make a sound? There you are, eh? That's an interesting one, Ruffy. And the answer to that is emphatically yes.
Get a big dog.
Yeah, get a big, get a big dog. Davy Moyes, West Ham say they're going in a different direction. So David Moyes has saved them millions, by the way. He's probably got a nice little pay packet himself from it. But I have to say to you, what are they looking for?
What do they expect? What's their expectations? Are they going to, are they a top 6 team? No chance. Are they a top 10 team? I don't think so. What else do they want? The guy's come in, he's done his job with his backroom staff, and he's kept him in the Premier League. And what is that worth? I don't know, Peter. It's tens of millions.
100 million.
100 million
minimum.
So there you go. Listen, I've no doubt that he'll get a nice bonus for keeping him there. But who are they going to get? Who are they going to get that's going to do a better job?
Yeah, I agree with you. And of course, listen, just picking up on that point, Everton sack Sam Allardyce. All right, he gets a nice 6 million. But I mean, Everton.
Yeah,
eighth, and he's sacked.
Yeah, I keep hearing these clubs. You know, West Ham, Everton. I keep hearing, you know, past players from these clubs saying, "Well, he's not really an Everton man." You know, I think you've got to move away from that. I think you've got to, because he doesn't get on with the supporters, doesn't mean he's not a good manager. The stats are there. He's brought in. He's done what he had to do. Same as Davy Moyes. And to say that, oh, he doesn't play the West Ham way, or he doesn't do this or everything, I'm sorry, you just have to look at what he's done, and that speaks for itself.
Absolutely. Okay, it's all about opinions. You can give us your opinion. Tomorrow, it will be Ruffy, myself, and hopefully Frank McAvenny will be on. He might give us his thoughts on the West Ham situation as well. This afternoon, hopefully you've enjoyed the chat. You will join us on YouTube. You can like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Facebook, as ever, don't forget to like, share, and give us your comments as well. Tell your pals about it as well. Big apologies, our producer is dying on the show today because all we can hear is her coughing in the background. But nevertheless, hopefully she'll be better for tomorrow. Our app, download the PLZ Soccer app. You can tell your friends on Google Play and in the App Store. When you download it, you can actually get, Video Reporter. Hit Video Reporter, and if we use your video on the show, we will send you a print of your favourite player. It might be Larson, it might be Cooper, it might be a World Cup star, whatever. We'll try our best to get something out to you. It could be a t-shirt, could be something. Okay, Ruffy, you don't milk your part. But we'll try our best to get something out to you, just as a thank you for contributing to the show. Can I say any more than that? Jay Mersey, hopeful, will be a happy man. Craig Brown was a happy man yesterday when we contacted him. Don't forget www.plzsoccer.com and you can get all the latest news across the country. Come and join the football family on PLZ Soccer. From Ruffy, from Barry Ferguson, from myself, Peter Martin, wherever you are in the world, thanks for watching.